If you are between 18 and 35 and secretly terrified of marrying the wrong person, you are not alone. As a psychologist, author, and live fellow of the Counseling Psychologists Association, I have seen this exact pattern play out in countless clients. And once you understand it, your relationships will never look the same. In this year, around 4 in 10 first marriages in the US are still expected to end in divorce. At the same time, Gen Z and millennials are marrying later, living together longer, and saying, I'm scared of divorce more openly than any previous generation. Here is a twist. Divorce is not usually caused by one big thing. It is caused by small, ignored differences that were obvious before the wedding, but nobody had the courage or tools to talk about them. So, this video is not about saving a dying marriage, it is about preventing one. These are 5 questions every couple should ask before marriage, drawn from real marriage counseling topics that therapists see over and over again. Question 1. How do we fight? And how do we repair? Healthy couples do not avoid conflict. They have rules for it. In marriage counseling rooms around the world, therapists see the same patterns destroying young couples: shutting down or stonewalling, name calling, and character attacks. One person always keeping the peace and silently building resentment. Ask each other, when we disagree, what do you need to feel safe? What is one behavior I do in conflict that really hurts you? How do we want to apologize and repair after a fight? If you cannot talk about how you fight now, marriage will magnify that silence. Now, question number 2. What does money mean to you emotionally? Money is one of the top stressors in marriage, and not just the amount, but what it represents. Counselors routinely see couples clash over spending versus saving styles, debt secrecy, who should earn more, whether to merge or separate accounts. Ask, when you think about money, do you feel fear, guilt, freedom, or pressure? What did you see about money growing up? Do you imagine joint accounts, separate accounts, or a mix, and why? You are not just comparing budgets, you are comparing money stories. Now, question number 3. What will our roles actually look like? Modern couples say we are equal, but then quietly fight about who does dishes, cooking, cleaning, who sacrifices career for kids, who manages social plans and emotional labor. Therapists report that the expectations about roles, scores, and careers are core topics in paramarital and couples counseling because they feel daily resentment when left vague. Now you ask, what does a fair division of work at home look like to you? If one of us gets a big opportunity in another city, how do we decide? If we have kids, who changes what about their schedule? If one of you secretly pictures a 1950s marriage and the other wants a 50-50 partnership, that gap will not close by itself. Now, question number 4. What are our non-negotiables about sex, loyalty, and boundaries? Gen Z and millennials talk more openly about intimacy online, but many still avoid the real conversation at home. In counseling, common pressure points include mismatched sex drives, unspoken porn boundaries, emotional cheating online, and what flirting or DMs count as betrayal. Ask yourself, what does loyalty mean to you in digital world? What are hard boundaries for you around friends, sexes, and DMs? What do you need to feel desired and safe in our sex life? If you cannot say these words now, it will be much harder later when hurt and shame are already in the room. Now, question number 5. Are we walking forward the same future? Counselors say couples often come in not because they dislike each other, but because their life maps quietly diverged. Kids, career, city, faith, family, involvement. Premarital counseling now focuses heavily on aligning future plans, where to live, whether to have children, lifestyle, values, and long-term goals. Now you ask, where do you see us living in 5 to 10 years? Do you want kids? If yes, when? And what scares you about it? How important is religion, spirituality, or community in our future? You do not need identical dreams. You need compatible ones. Now, here is a secret that most people never hear. Couples who do premarital counseling before the ring or before the wedding are significantly less likely to divorce and often report higher relationship satisfaction later. Think of it like emotional planning that sits next to your venue, outfits, and guest list. So, if this video made you realize we have never talked about half of this, that is not a sign you should panic. It is a sign you have just been given a roadmap. You deserve more than a pretty wedding. You deserve a marriage that can handle conflict, money, roles, intimacy, and growth without breaking. If you and your partner are brave enough to ask these 5 questions before you say I do, drop "we are doing the work" in the comments, hit subscribe, and share this with one couple you love who is headed toward marriage. Love is not enough, skills are what? Keep it